Hi guys, it's Alex the Magician here, and this video is going to be an introduction to the Jebus Cross or JC map template. Jebus Cross is one of the most popular maps for online play, so if you want to learn how to play against other people, you're gonna want to learn how to play this map pretty quickly. This video is going to cover basic things like what the map looks like, what the main areas are, what objectives there are on the map, and just basic strategy elements on how to think about this properly and how to play this game, play this map properly. So if you've played this map before, if you already know how to play it, if you know what it looks like, you can skip this video. There's not going to be anything useful for you here. But if you have not played it, or you have played it and you just don't know, you didn't know what you were doing, or you don't know where it looks like, or you don't know how to strategize, how to try to play this map properly, then keep watching. There's going to be something useful for you here. So this map has 4 starting areas, the so-called biomes. There's one here, there's one here, there's one here, and there's one here. And this is going to be randomly generated, of course, every map. There's also a central area over here, but I will talk more about that later. Now, usually this map is played with 2 people, just 1v1. But since it has 4 starting areas, it can be played with up to 4 people. If it's played with 2 people, when you start here, your opponent is going to be starting opposite to you. So he's not going to start in the biome that's right next to you, he's going to start in the one that's opposite to you. And what that means is that you are not going to encounter your opponent until at least week 2, usually week 3, because the central area is separated from the biome by this really strong guard that's referred to as the main break on your side as well as your opponent's side. So this is going to be a randomly generated level 6 or 7 creature, and it's going to take quite a bit of army or magic or both to kill them. So you are going to be spending quite a bit of time gathering army and leveling your hero so that you can kill this main break, and so will your opponent. And until you do that, you are not going to be able to meet, because actually in tournament rules you cannot fly over this area. You have to kill the main break, or you can kill the side break. But I'm not going to get into that right now. We'll just focus on the main one. But you have to be able to break before you can get in the center. You are not allowed to just fly over this area without fighting this monster. Now, what that means is that you're going to have at least 1 week, likely more, to gather stuff in your biome, to gather as much army as you can, artifacts, and level your hero so that you can fight this main break and get into the center. Now, your biome is going to have certain objects of interest. These are going to be obviously artifacts. You're going to have resources as well. You're going to have other objects like the Imp Cache or Naga Bank that give you resources, or the crypts that can also give you artifacts. Obviously, you're going to have things like Schools of Magic and Star Axes to give you additional spell power or knowledge. But the ones that you're going to need to pay the most attention to are the creature dwellings, and these are town specific. So because I'm starting here as dungeon, I have a dragon cave. I can also have Minotaur, labyrinths, and manticore lairs and things like that. Now my opponent, he's starting as castle, so he has a portal of glory, for example, and also the training grounds where he can get cavaliers. He's not going to have the dragon cave, and I'm conversely not going to have the portal of glory. So these are all going to be specific to what town you're starting as. Now, on top of that, you're also going to have additional objects that are going to give you army as well. So these are things like these dragonfly hives, or hives for short, the wolf raider pickets, or just pickets, these griffin conservatories, or conses as they're usually called, and also these experimental shops. Now, the hives, you have to fight dragonflies in, and if you beat them, you will have wyverns as a reward. Here, Wolf Raider Picket, you fight Wolf Raiders and you get Cyclopes as a reward. In the Conses, you fight Griffins and you get Angels as a reward. If you beat them, of course. And in the shops, you fight Steel Golems, and if you beat them, you get Giants. Now, the objects can be different sizes. They can be one of 4, 1, 2, 3, or 4. The 4 is obviously the hardest, and the 1 is obviously the easiest. And also, most of these objects are also guarded by something. So, when you play this map, your main goal is going to be to try to take as many of these objects as possible as fast as possible, so that you can build up as much army as you can, so that you can kill this main break as quickly as possible. And the reason that you want to do that is because the central area is much more juicy in terms of objects and artifacts. So for example, as you can see here, there's a Tome of Earth, which is a really, really good artifact right here. And it's pretty rare to find a Tome of Earth in your biome. But in the center, it's not that rare. And you're gonna have much more other artifacts like the Sentinel Shield, for example, and these boxes will have good stuff. There's also a Tome of Air Magic. There are also a lot of Utopias, not always, but usually there are going to be a lot of Utopias in the center. So what you want to do when you're playing this map is you want to look at it and you want to see how quickly you're able to take these objects that give you additional army as quickly as possible and level up your hero and possibly gather artifacts for your hero and maybe get him magic, so that you can go for this main break fight as soon as possible. And the reason for that is because you want to get into the central area as soon as possible so that you have a chance to gather some of these objects faster than your opponent. Because if your opponent gets in here and he gets things like the Tome of Earth Magic and things like that, then he has a better chance of winning. So the main thing here is you want to get in the center so that you can gather as much as possible here before your opponent so that you can actually win the final fight when you fight the opponent. Now, this is pretty much everything for the main objectives of this map. There's definitely different strategies in playing it. Sometimes you want to main a warrior hero, so then army is more important. Sometimes you want to main a mage, so that army is not as important. But I will get into those tips in another video. So I hope that you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I hope that you learned something. If you want to see some more Heroes 3 content, I'm actually streaming Heroes 3 live every weekday starting around noon European time. I'll add the link to my Twitch stream in the description below. And if you guys want to see it, you can follow, so that way you will get notified when I go live. So please check that out if you're interested in more Heroes 3 content, and stay tuned for more videos. Thank you for watching.